Welcome. It's your man, God of Dots, back with another Freestyle Friday episode. Hope everybody has had a very good week. Hope you've had a fruitful week. Hope you got all your holiday shopping done. If you haven't, what have you been waiting on? This won't be a long show. Just wanted to kind of continue a conversation that I was having with the good homie Slander on our show Saturday nights, not a sector show. If you missed out, man, I don't know what you're doing with yourself, but yeah, check it out. But I wanted to continue a conversation that we kind of started on the show in regards to the Deion Sanders. At this point, we call it news phenomenon. Like everybody has a take on Deion Sanders. Everybody has a take on what he's done since he's gone to the University of Colorado. Some good, some bad. And everybody seems to have an opinion, and I wanted to kind of bring that conversation over here because this is where we got to do that stuff with the sports and stuff. How you doing, Dr. Nikki, Miss Merv? So I guess I'll just go ahead and kind of get into the whole clip, kind of break it down. I think I did. Yeah, link has been dropped already, so if you want to join in on the discussion, you can. If not, I get up here and rock out. Y'all know me. Y'all know how I get down. Okay. Been listening to that dude so long now. I'm doing it. All right, so let's kind of get into it. Matter of fact, let me come back over here. Fair use. But here is that portion of the conversation. I'm going to put it up on the screen for everybody to kind of see. I found it on Twitter, and like I said, I want to continue that conversation that we had last Saturday and bring it to this show. So without further ado, let me take this down. All right, make this full size, and let's go.
He start pulling Ed Reed and Randall Cunningham and all these ex NFL greats to these HBCUs. They going to steal our money. This is $1 billion empire. We cannot afford for the HBCU to steal all the top tier athletes because there will be a reversal of power in D1 sports. This is what they said. And they said, we know Deion ain't the loyal type to the black community because he's the one who also criticized Colin Kaepernick for taking a knee. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to get the whitest school in the country to offer him some money to come teach them because he could have went somewhere. They were making a statement. Deion was sent to Colorado to make a statement that every one of them ninjas got a price. Find his and pay them off.
You know what I think? And they listen. See them faces? You see, look.
Talk to me about
that. Hey, y'all feel him. Listen, when he sit back and do you like this, bro, when he sit back and do you like this right here, he kicking the highest game he can kick right there. As high as he can get, boy, but it's effective. Listen, I think what I believe is that in college sports, we have to be effective to get higher, to do certain things. Just like you, I want you to look at it through your lens and the things you've been able to do and how you had to exit certain routes. You had black people come and try to fix your school up, and you had an issue with that. Sometimes the power structure calls for us to need a handoff, need an assist, need something to put us in a position.
Black contractors scheming and scamming ain't got nothing to do with Deion running to 1.3% black.
This is what I'm saying about
Colorado.
So here let's wrap that around. HBCUs and business in general, not HBCUs, but business in general has no moral clause.
I disagree with that. From a European standpoint, yes, we ain't Europeans. Our business always have a clause.
What you just so for us to not to have access to power, what business or industry do we even control?
We are $2 trillion people.
What business or industry do we control?
And that's the problem. And
okay, so what? All right, so his access to
school for the white ones.
His access to power goes through
Boulder, Colorado.
Goes through the power structure.
All this money Deion making for them, by the time he's done, he would have made far more for them that he earned from them. Not only that, God forbid,
that's everything.
If he ever begin. But the point is, he shouldn't even be in that position because you had the chance to restructure an entire HBCU athletic system permanently, and you sold it out for money to go to a white college. That's the facts of the situation.
I disagree with that.
It's the facts. It's undisputable. That's what he did.
That's
why he not still at Jackson.
He's not at Jackson because he had an opportunity call.
An opportunity to go to coach at a white school.
No, to showcase his skills in a different level.
Oh, we don't know what Deion is capable of?
No, not in college. Not again, you have to coach in these different markets. The same way you got to go speak in different markets. Same way I got to podcast.
But I don't compromise.
It ain't about compromise.
It is.
It's about results. I keep telling you, I'm showing up to show out. I ain't showing up to do that.
All right, let me pause it here real quick. I do have a guest backstage. Let me go ahead and bring you up. Welcome to the show, young lady.
Hey, what is Willis talking about?
I don't know. I was gonna let him finish.
Okay, let's do that because
we'll break it down what this clown was talking about.
For sure.
That other
results for who?
For my stat sheet for what I've been able to do. Yeah. So if
they try to turn black people to a permanent underclass, and you talk about stat sheets, burn the damn stat sheets.
Nah, you need that, Umar. If that's the case, you would sleep in the mop room at your school.
I will be. I don't think I'll ever leave once I get there.
These are future plans, but this dude here is working now. I'm telling you, if you believe what you're telling me, you will walk in that school and say, "Damn it with the house, damn it with the car." Until this school get up and rolling, Umar don't got nothing.
Well, I agree with everything.
All right, so that's my point.
You can't compare my commitment to the black community to Deion's because he has yet to show it.
You don't think he's saving children?
Doing what?
Being the motivation. Continue.
I'll rest my case.
Also, you don't think motivation is necessary?
Brother, to whom much is given, much is required.
You're telling that to me, and I got a lot.
Deion has a lot.
Yeah.
So for you to tell me that he's somehow benefiting black children because they see him winning at a white college, that's the same argument Obama maniacs made when Barack was in the White House and Negroes said just him being there was a benefit to black people. Only problem with that, it didn't play out in the statistics. High school graduation didn't go up. Crime didn't go down. You understand? We didn't do better on a single index in this country as a result of Obama being in the White House. So now you're giving me Deion on the white football field, Barack Obama in the white man's house. Listen.
All right, ma'am. There's a lot to kind of break down and digest with this. What's going on, Triggs? What's going on? Where do you want to start with this? Because I gave my quick opinion on this when we played it on the show the other last week. Umar sounds like a goddamn idiot. But I'm gonna let you kind of get your spiel on, and we'll kind of go from there.
Okay, so there are a couple of things. First of all, you throwing Barack Obama and his administration in, and you're trying to parallel it or correlate it to Deion Sanders and D1 football. Why? Why?
Well, a good question, but you know how that goes. You throw if you watch Umar, it's an act. A lot of his lectures are the same stuff over and over and over and over again. And the only thing that changes is the name of the city that he's in. It's the same stuff. Obama is a lightning rod for Black America. And you have those that were satisfied with his job in the White House. You have others that were dissatisfied with his job in the White House. I don't see how the two are even remotely the same. Deion is not there to save Black America.
He's also not there as an elected official. He's there working a job like most people who work jobs.
Yes. And, for him to, kind of, like I said, it gets people riled up. I compare him to Obama, so that makes him look like he's not doing anything. And like I said, Deion, like you said, Deion is there working a job. Deion he never came out and said, "I'm here to save the Black community. I'm promising you this. I'm promising you that." No, only thing he's probably, hey, we're going to be a good football team. And I'm going to try to, teach you in the course of being a good football player to be a good, respectable young man. That's the only thing he's ever promised to to those
He
players.
promised to build a program,
Yeah.
just like Umar has promised to build a school with people enrolled in it.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, I called it, called him an idiot. And this kind of, goes to the further conversation why, so much was put on, Dion going to Colorado. And a lot of, for me, was for the wrong reasons, for, people's expectations of him. Like, what were you expecting him to do? Change college football overnight? What was you expecting? And this whole, and I know you are HBCU advocate for sure.
A proud alum.
Yes. I didn't understand why, so many black people in our community were so upset from him taking a job, for one that was going to, provide better for his family, who has the facilities that he wanted to have available to compete, for the best players and that kind of stuff. And he didn't have to go to a HBCU in the first place. He did. And I think some people kind of missed that. Like, Leon could have got hired on as an assistant coach at some Power 5 school and just been fine. And it wouldn't have mattered to anybody, any sports fan or any other sort. But when you have people like a Umar, this, in my opinion, this hollering into the wind about, Dion should be doing this, and he's making all these money for the white folks. And I look at Dion is doing a job, and in any job, anybody that works, contrary to popular belief, is you try to progress, progressing your levels. You want to get promoted, you want more money, you want a better position, you want all these things, and that's the goal. When you start working, you want more.
Especially when you're also being recruited. Now, I don't know the particulars of Dion's, Mr. Sanders, like I'm calling him Dion, like I know this dude, Mr. Sanders, contract and how the negotiation went down and all of that. Because, if he chose that school, meaning that he went there and applied for the position, then I would want to know, well, why the hell are you in Colorado? But that would be a different story. That would change the whole context of our argument, with whether we are pleased or displeased as a black community with his choices.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to Umar, you would think, and I say this to a lot of things, because you and I are in, similar spaces, and it burns me or grinds my gears when I hear people talk about, I'm so pro-black, so pro this, and the black man and the black woman first and all this other kind of stuff. But you'll talk shit about, its educational institutions, and you'll say and talk about black schools or HBCUs as if they're inferior because you decided to go get your education somewhere else. So I have problems with people talking the talk, but you not walking the walk.
Well, that's most people who are on that pro blackity black, and I've never been one of those type people. Like, look, yeah, it sounds nice, but is it practical? No. Is it reality? No.
Right. And even if you went to another school and let's say it was full scholarship or what have you, you can still find ways to continue your education and either go work at an HBCU or do something. Because a lot of the problems that we have in these institutions at HBCUs are due to lack of talent. Because I have had, and I'm digressing just a little bit, but I'm coming back to my main point, because this is all about academics or academe and higher education. This idea of black schools are substandard and this and the third, and I have had students come sit in my office and tell me, I came to an HBCU, but to have black professors, but so far my professors have either been Indian or white. What's going on with this? Like, how long do I have to be in school to get what I came here for? Because of whatever their curriculum patterns are, with the engineering and so on and so forth. It seems that they are flooded with faculty that are non-black.
Yeah.
Or administrators that are non-black. And then you see that those same people don't bring their people to these schools either.
Yeah.
So, one thing I would do if I had a magic wand is I would stop recycling trash at
Mm,
HBCUs.
mm.
And that's regardless of what color it is. We got to stop recycling trash. If you have not been successful at one school, then don't bring your shit over to this school and we're going to give it to you just because you have experience. Because what you have is experience in failure.
Talk about it now. Talk
And
about it.
we don't need to reward or promote or applaud failure. We don't give distinction to failure.
Well, you're more closely involved with the HBCU scene than I will possibly ever be. But people who are not even close to that realm don't associate themselves with HBCUs, don't know nothing about it. They have this assumption, and when you have people like Umar painting this assumption, like everybody at the school is black, all the faculty are black, and it's the pinnacle of um, academic excellence, and everything and they're not really understanding what's really going on at HBCUs. A lot of the HBCUs are severely underfunded, like, and that has nothing to do with Dion coaching a football team. Nothing.
No, it doesn't. And a lot of these HBCUs, and this was a conversation that you and I, where we were talking, said that we were going to kind of table for a later date when we started talking about athletics and the NIL deals with, when Brother Speakeasy came over and blessed us with his expertise, and by him being a parent of a son who's just a beast. Oh my God, his son is just a monster out there on the field. On the court. This idea that some of these HBCUs really can't even afford athletic programs.
Yeah.
Like there are HBCUs that have football teams that have to play their games on other football fields.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not something that is new, but it does take a lot of work. Like a Dion cannot be the face of our sovereign, leadership with athletics. Like he didn't come there to be the Jesus Christ figure. Now, as I said, and I have my issues with, some of the choices he made, but, it would be ignorant of me to, continue to expound on that when I don't know the particulars of, what actually got him there in Colorado. I will always say that when Black people show excellence, that the first thing white folks want to do is come and get us out of our own environments.
Mm-hmm. And it was I forgot the name of the movie. It's an old clip. Now I'm gonna find it one day. We'll talk about it. But it was I'm gonna try to paint the picture if I remember the clip. It was a group of white people sitting around a table, talking about, you take the best and the brightest from the Black community, and then what happens is the Black community in turn will turn on them because they look at them as kind of like Uncle Thomas. Kind of, it's like we take the best and the brightest, and that's what happens. Not just with sports, but in any industry. They'll poach the best professors, they'll poach the best teachers from these HBCUs, and it's really a money thing. Is for me, because I'm not necessarily in that world, and you can probably speak on that more than I can. Like I had no issue with Dion leaving to go to Colorado, and that because I understood, from knowing his story while he was at Jackson State, the challenges he had to overcome to even have a functional football program, to even be noticed and be seen on TV without having his name. He had a good football team, but the challenges we had with lack of proper training facilities, all of that kind of stuff that comes with a powerful, I had no issue with it because I never looked at Dion as the Black savior. He's here to save all HBCUs. He brought attention to him, but at the end of the day, you have to make your own choice as a student, as a family of a student. But
Right. And I understand those things. I really, really, really do. And I try not to be hypercritical like we have, Umar, who, any chance he gets to posture, he will do so. Because my issue with him is, brother, why are you going to a speaking engagement that's not going to get you closer to opening your school just so you can run your damn mouth?
Or we know sidebar, we know ain't no school being open because that's not the focus. it's a talking point. It's a showpiece, but that has never been his end all be all for real. It's about getting money and you know having that attention on him. That's why he'll drop a name like a Deion Sanders. He'll drop a name like a LeBron James or somebody else that's no Kobe Bryant for
As
instance.
if they are on the same level. It's like, dude, what Kobe Bryant has done for the Black community is nowhere near what you're still trying to do. Like, he can talk about what he's done, and for 20 years, you're still trying to do.
Yeah, but it sounds like I said, it sounds good. When we kind of thought about this on the show Saturday, it sounds good to the uninformed, the uneducated. That kind of preacher type style. You're not saying nothing. It's no substance to what you're saying. There's no real solutions to what you're saying. It's just how can I, like you said, posture up and make myself seem more than what I truly am. What I truly I'm like. I don't get the critique. I would, I could accept critique coming from other HBCU coaches, more so than I could ever, catch it from Umar. That's what I said when I heard it. I was like, this dude is a goddamn idiot because first of all, you're not even informed of that. And to paint, Boulder, Colorado is mostly a white city, but to call them the whitest school in NCAA is idiotic. Like, have you been to BYU? Have you seen have you seen some of these universities in these cities? Like, come on, like, are you for real? But when you're not informed and you playing off the fact that other people that you're talking to are not informed, also, I mean, it works. It works in his favor. That's why you heard the clapping and go. You right, Doc. Like, he's all way off, but you wouldn't know that because you're not up on game. You goddamn self.
Exactly. And you're using racist rhetoric. If racism is more successful through the use of language than your actual actions in and of itself, if that makes any sense.
I'm following you.
And it's like, Umar, you're doing way more damage by running your mouth the way that you do, using tools of oppression, than you trying to open up a school that in the 10 years, how much more time do you need for us to show you that what you're trying to do ain't relevant?
Yeah. Well, I mean, but
has anybody thrown that in his face? In 10 years, Black boys are still matriculating through school. They are graduating from college. We have more Black men in college than we do in prison, despite what the meta narrative is, without your school.
yeah, but he doesn't want to point. He doesn't want to point that out because you want to, like you said, use the racist rhetoric and have, Black folks. That savior complex, and that's a completely different conversation when we're talking about the savior complex in the Black community. Like, it is a serious issue, and it's always been an issue. Going back to the days of slavery, that savior type complex, like, you're here to save me. I need to look up to you. You are the leader because you're articulating what I'm maybe feeling on the inside. Like, yeah, it's like I said, he sounds. Anytime I hear him talk, he sounds dumb. But
it sounds like he's getting dumber.
Well, yeah. If he's getting dumber, I mean, what's that say about the people that support him? I mean, honestly.
I don't really think that it's people supporting him like that. I think that the people that he chooses to share, who are his supporters, are the ones who scream the loudest. So it seems like you have the most.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dude, if you're doing all this talking, you're not working.
Well, it's not about the work; it's about the rhetoric. I mean, it's like I said, it's a deeper conversation than just Deion and sports. Like, look how much the Black church has changed, as far as like the kind of work they do in the community than what they used to do back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. It's completely changed. I mean, it's for me, and from what I've seen, my own personal experience, it's such a different dynamic going on. Like, with the Black church is just kind of like separate, not even really part of the community like that.
Absolutely, it's no longer part of our village.
Mm-hmm.
Because it used to be that when you want to recruit somebody to go somewhere, people wanted to know, like, what type of religious, doings or dealings do y'all have at that school too? Because my boy goes to church every Sunday. You know, we used to have those kinds of conversations where you sit down at someone's house and you try to get to know the family and you woo the family to let you know that we're not just asking your son to come play for us or your daughter. We have a village, much like the village you have, that's going to take care of them and graduate them as well.
Yeah, but but even with the black church being what that is, and I saw, and I meant to clip it, but I missed it. You do know that the number one offensive tackle, what's his name, Jordan Seaton, committed to go to the University of Colorado. Then all of a sudden, you started seeing reports leaking out from unknown sources, unidentified sources, where other schools were alleging that he was paid off, and Dion promised them all this NIL money. Like, but ain't that how the game goes now? Ain't that the proper route to do it, instead of doing it how they used to do it, where boosters was giving people fake jobs and money? Like, it's they're doing anything to kind of sully what he's got going on there. And like I said, for me, it's outside of football. If he's able to get the best players, kudos to him. I mean, you don't get those same critiques of a Nick Saban or a Jim
Or
Harbaugh.
anyone else.
Yeah,
Anyone else. He's doing the same thing that they're doing, but now that he's doing it, oh, we're gonna tell on him.
yeah. And when you got people like a Umar Johnson, this perpetrating that same story, that same narrative, it is hurt. I mean, it's hurtful. Um, he coaches football. Dion coaches football, and I think black people as a whole, when you speak on Dion, just remember he coaches football. He's not
And that's
promised.
all he came there to do. He didn't come there to be the a tenured professor. He didn't come there to be a dean. He didn't come there to be the next college president. He didn't even come there to be the athletic director.
Yeah, but you can't, with some people, you just got to kind of like, for me, I kind of like leave those kind of people where they at. Because, if you're not up on game and you're not really seeing what's going on, the smear campaign, just anything to discredit him, because he's beating them at their own game. And before I do that, going on, make a change. What's going on? I'm, glad y'all can catch a live. You appreciate it as always. Um, like, like that clip right there, is like this pisses me off. Like damn, you're doing way more damage than any white sportscaster do, because then they'll point to, like, look, the black community don't support them, so let's go a little harder, right?
And he talked about having a price. Umar, you have a price too, because you've been trying to raise what, 1.2, $1.7 million for a long time. We
Come on.
know as soon as you get it, you're going to be on a new line and the school will still not be open. I think really what Umar is doing with the school is he needs some sort of a compound to where he can be buried when he passes on, and people can come and look at the trap bandos and say, that's where that nigga is buried. And yes, he talked a whole lot and he needed a whole lot of space so we can bury all his bullshit beside his body. I can't take it.
Yeah, but I like when I was playing the clip, I like how the host was like, if you had that same kind of attitude with yourself and your mission, like, you would be staying at the school, like, and you saw Umar like, nah, what I got going on is different. But you critiquing Dion, like he's supposed to be the savior of black boys, but you don't want to pronounce yourself as the savior of black boys, and no one to save more black kids than you. Like,
And no one has ever built a school. And again, you have a building that can be used or upfitted for a school. You don't have a school if you don't have students.
I mean, he sounds smart to dumb people, and that's been my argument with him for years. You sound smart to dumb people when you really start parsing through the words and getting to the under. Like, he looks at Dion as this is a lightning rod of attention that'll bring me attention. All I have to do is because they're not going to focus on me. When I say they, I'm talking about the media. They're not going to focus on what I say. It's not going to be highlighted if I come out in support. I almost, to get attention to myself, because that's what I'm really doing when I'm talking about Deanna and I'm bringing up these, different people and I'm tying it to Obama. I want attention, but I get more attention by speaking negatively. And I mean, that's the culture we kind of live in. When you talking positive, they don't want to hear that.
You know what he sounds like every time I hear him hating on or sweating another person, if I can use our lingo, because again, I'm still confused on this whole clout chasing verbiage. When he's sweating and hating on somebody else, what he's really saying is, if you supported me, that would be better use of your time and your money.
Yeah.
And for him to even utter scam and schemers out of his mouth, oh my goodness, God should, if there is a God, a higher power should take his voice every time he even thinks about those two words.
Like I said, it sounds good to dumb people. Like he really for those who missed it, you can go back to the start of the show and I played the clip then. But he sounds smart to dumb people. That's why saw people, oh yeah, you won't point, and because some people, it's the hate in their heart, man. It's the hate in their heart, and and you see it expressed more outwardly with our people than you do with them. Because if that had been something dealing with them, trust me, they won't even say nothing about it. They won't talk on it. We talked about it previously on this show, the Josh Giddey situation with the underage girl. You notice you ain't seen that in the news.
Right.
It's kind of just gone, like they won't focus on the negative and give you anything to kind of sink your teeth in. But with us, man, we'll go to hell and back just to bring another person down, but bringing and at the same time bringing attention to ourselves. It's deeper. It's deeper than sports. When we had that conversation, it's way deeper than sports. But
here's the other thing though. If you notice, like you said, it sounds smart to quote unquote dumb people or dumb listeners. Because I really don't even think those people are actually listening. They're just waiting for points to clap. And they might even have people with cue cards saying, please clap, because we don't see all of that. Because if you notice that, when Germ showed him speaking wherever they were, it wasn't a full house like he's always saying, I'm the most requested, whatever. My thing is this. Why don't we ever see Umar in front of a jury of his peers? You know why? Because none of that shit would fly. That's why. There's no way. There's no way. Nobody would listen to that stuff. And I promise you, he would be very, very quiet, because somebody like me or, someone else who has followed him for quite some time just to listen to, see how worse his bullshit gets, will call him out and embarrass him so badly with his scholarship that is 20 and now going on 30 years old. You are 30 years behind, brother. And people who are learning knows that every single thing you got from Jawanza Kunjufu, and you have never cited this man's work. We would eat his ass up, and I promise you he wouldn't come out and say nothing else. Wouldn't be no claps. It wouldn't be none of that. You would see Dr. Papa exiting stage left. It wouldn't be no posturing. It wouldn't be any of that.
You're not his audience. And I had to come to grips with that when I kind of came, into contact and his realm of influence and listening and like piecing together the words, and that you're not his audience. You're not his audience. From the time he opens his mouth to the time he gets off stage is complete bullshit. But I'm not, I'm not his audience. I'm not his target audience, and he knows, Deion Sanders is a lightning rod right now. I tie him to Barack Obama. That makes Deion, try to vilify him even more by saying, the shortcomings of Obama, and black people. Some black people are, buying into that wholesale. Deion shit. Yeah, you right, Doc. He's just like Obama. Like, but Deion. At the end of the day, Deion is a coach. He never promised to save Black America. Never promised to do any of that kind of stuff that would affect them on a grand scale. But when when your target audience is dumb people, and you give them stuff like that, they'll bite into it and sink into it and love it and want more of it.
Again, I am so over Umar and his foolishness. And again, this is also what people should take away, is what happens when you're trying to talk about stuff and this is not your lane.
Yeah.
Not your lane. This is not your lane. He can never speak to specifically nothing, but talks about everything.
But once again, me and you and people like us, we're not his audience. we're we're not his audience. Well, since you up here, it is another clip I want to play.
Sure.
Of an interaction, and I just kind of like wanted your feedback on. Let me kind of get it set up. I don't have to do all of that. Let me get this kind of set up. Share. All right, put this on the big screen. Come back over here. Okay, is it ready? Okay. It's a short clip. I just want your opinions on this interaction here. Hold on, let me go back to the beginning.
My man being racist because I bought these tickets and he gonna tell the security to come and check my tickets because you racist in 2023. Boy, you about to go viral. It don't matter. I bought him. I bought him. It don't matter. My man racist. Man, be quiet. Be quiet. I don't want to hear you about to go viral tonight. I promise you. We bought the tickets. Shut up. Shut up. Thank you. Show him the tickets. There we go. Hey, shout out to the Denver Nuggets. We come all the way from Houston to come and watch the Denver Nuggets game, and we get this mistreatment because we buy tickets. And look, and we got this pig. We got this pig being racist. Oh, you gonna go viral tomorrow? I promise you. What's your name? What's your name? You going viral, my man. You going viral, my man. Yeah, you going viral. That's why he's turning red in the face. That's why he going red in the face. Exactly. Shut up. Don't talk to us no more. Shut up.
All right. Okay, let me take it down. Okay, thoughts and opinions on that clip you just watched.
Okay, so first of all, tell me what was going on because it was very hard for me to hear other than the shut up and he's racist and we came from Houston.
Okay, so this is the context. So black couple had some very, 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 very good seats.
As I can see, they look courtside.
Yeah, courtside seats, has very good seats. The gentleman behind him was questioning, like, why are you in those seats? Type energy. Inferring that they were there, not one
by mistake.
Yeah, by mistake, or they got somebody else seats. And I wanted to kind of bring that clip to the discussion because, like, I don't know how many people who have ever been to an NBA game, but it's way more of them than us at an NBA game.
Of course.
And that kind of behavior, what you just saw, where they'll call over, arena staff to to verify, that is a regular occurrence. Depending, you see, you see that at a lot of NBA games, where they'll look at you. What are you doing here? You're not a celebrity that I recognize, and they'll have people come over and check your seats. And you don't necessarily have to be courtside. If you have some very good seats at an NBA game, and I'm talking about where you spend a nice little penny on them, damn near courtside, that's the kind of stuff that happens.
Okay, so please don't laugh. But I don't think I have ever witnessed anything happening like that or knew that was what was going on. Because most of the time, if someone wasn't in the right seats, the usher would say, hey, can I see your tickets? And someone, who was supposed to be in those seats would be standing there and be like, oh, you need to move over, or, oh, you're a roll with this, that, and the third. Not, what are you doing here? And like, nobody's waiting for these seats. So there's really no reason for me to check you on why you're in these seats, if that makes sense.
I hear you. But that occurs more often than a lot of people realize. Because as black folks, most of us will watch the game on TV. You have people that will actually go to all 41 to have season tickets. Will go to all the home games. Will get courtside seats. And all of that kind of stuff. And that happens a lot. You see it a lot more in the NBA than you would at an NFL game. You see,
okay, because I've been to professional NFL games, but never NBA. And I don't think I don't know how I would even respond to that. Like, I think the brother was very tactful in what he did, although he was being very disrespectful to the white dude. I think the white dude felt like, well, I'm not in a situation where he can put his hands on me or anything like that. So let me just try to laugh this off. But I I don't know what I would say in a situation like that.
I mean, but you get the side eye, and you'll get like it's I mean, I'm gonna tell you a personal story. It's a movie theater I like to go to. When
Mhm.
they have regular seats, but then they have what they have the VIP section, recliner seats, the full shebang. And I've had white people look at me funny when I show up for a premiere of a movie and I have those seats, and they're looking like, are you supposed to, they won't come out and say it, um, but you get the looks, and you can feel the vibe, like you're not supposed to be here, boy. You need to be up in the up towards the ceiling in this theater. Like that happens. You see, it happens a lot more at the NBA game than it does at the NFL, because at the NFL game they're used to more of a mixture of people.
Right.
With the NBA game, especially that lower bowl from courtside up, it's mostly white people. It's mostly white people. You know, um,
Well, wait a minute. I caught something else in that story. Dots, are you a little bougie?
no, I'm not a little bougie. No,
I
I'm
don't
not.
think I've ever been to a movie premiere. Like what?
Well, I mean, but like opening night, that kind of stuff. But yeah, if I'm going to go, I want to be as comfortable as possible.
Hmm.
Why do I have to sit in
In the
a
balcony.
yeah, why I gotta sit in the balcony when I can have, better seats? It's like going to a concert. You can be up in the nosebleeds, or you can be on the floor, front row with action to that. And if you're paying for that, I want that. It's not necessarily being bougie, man.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think I know people who say, yeah, I'm going to the movie premiere. They just say, hey, I'm going to the movies.
Well, I mean, but it's movie premiere, opening night, but I get
Listen,
this.
I'm not gonna hate on you treating your wife good. So you do that. Take her
No,
to the premieres. You
yeah,
do that.
that's we do that, and we'll sit there and look at each other, like we can tell, some people, like, are they in the right? They'll give you that look, like, are they in the right seats? Like, yeah, we're in the right seats.
Exactly. But see, if there's something that y'all do, that on a regular occurrence, then they should know who you are.
You would think that, but it's still it's that kind of hidden hate, like,
So all black folks don't look alike.
yeah.
Every time you go to a movie premiere, yeah, we don't know that you was just here last week in the same seats. But
Like,
then we
yeah.
go back to this situation again. I don't know how I would have responded in that. I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have just been as black as I could be.
And I think I think he handled it well, as well as he could possibly be, because you know um, when you get that kind of treatment, it's a part of you, that wants to be angry, be very upset, and be outwardly upset, like, how dare you question me being here, and no one is questioning you being here.
Right,
Like,
but no one is standing up waiting as if I'm in their seats. Like, what is this all about?
well, that's what it's about. Like, you don't look like you belong here, and that's what it was. Like,
Mm.
you don't look like you belong here. You don't look like Kevin Hart or Eddie Murphy to me. Why are you in these seats? And like I said, you can tell brother had some very, very nice seats. Courtside seats, premium seats. Um, but when it happens a lot more at NBA games. Than you would think. It happens a lot more. Just people just you know I've heard, like in social media forums, like I've heard, black people saying they would never get courtside seats at a Utah Jazz game ever again. Just because you think that's bad. You have and you know how they talk to players. They'll talk to fans. Like, what are you doing here? You don't
That's crazy. Because Dots, I would have asked him, like, what are you doing here? Like, the Walmart greeting season ain't until, like, why are you over here? The oldest living white man trying to get me up out of my seats. Like, what?
But
Move me.
it's that sense of entitlement, because if he'd asked him that same question, he would have, be like, who are you to ask me? Why am I sitting here? Like, you must don't know where you at. You were in Denver, Colorado. Hell, that might have been the owner. Hell, I don't know. But you can tell he was uncomfortable, and it's only uncomfortable because he was on camera.
Mm. And see, and I have to admit, like, I only go to games like that if I know, because, like, I have former students who, might be playing or whatever, and they make sure I'm taken care of. So I wouldn't even be in a situation like that. Like, even if I go to concerts, I'm normally watching the concert from the back, where the artists come out, because I'm not dealing with all of that extra, foolishness or whatever, because either I know the promoter or somebody like that. So I don't know how I would respond in those kind of situations, because I kind of pick and choose how and when I go out, and make sure that I'm kind of in a situation where if I encounter that the other person, that I'm in a situation where the other person is going to always be wrong.
But in the kind of keeping sports, you wouldn't think you would have to do that at a sporting event. We're here to watch sports.
Exactly.
I'm a fan. If nothing else, I'm a fan of the game. I might be a fan
Of at least one of these teams.
Yeah, one of the teams, or maybe I'm just here to see LeBron.
Exactly.
You would think that kind of energy is not in it, but as you can see, it is still alive and well. It ain't just the players that get that kind of treatment depending on what stadium they go to. I mean, Boston is notorious for that kind of stuff. Boston is notorious for that kind of stuff, but it is alive and well. And like I said, I think brother handled it, fairly well.
He handled it exceptionally well in a social media era. He handled that extremely well.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna make you viral. Because it doesn't take much for people to find, your DNA just from a picture of you online. So
you know how that go.
I'm sure.
We'll find his name, his and I think
exactly
on the Twitter post, somebody was like, we need to make this, make him famous. Like they people, you got people looking for this guy's name and all that kind of stuff.
Look, they'll probably find out, the slaves his family owned, or exactly, his country of origin. Like he did that during the wrong time period. See, that's what happens when you're old and out of tune. You don't do stuff like that. Anybody with a phone, I wouldn't say anything to you.
Well, like I said, out of tune, because he this is the new era. You don't want to. And trust me, they know about that kind of stuff. That Karen stuff. They know about that kind of stuff. Hey, you can go viral, by approaching the wrong person with the wrong type of shit.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Now, before we wrap up, because I got to get prepped for the
of course
for the bullshit, I got a nice surprise for you over there.
Oh Lord, are you gonna play the reason why we sing? Man, that tears me up.
I might play it as this. I got a little audio video going on, but
Lord,
it's some good stuff in there. But I ain't gonna tell you where it's at. You'll see it when you see it. But before we get up out of here, your thoughts on Draymond has been suspended indefinitely by the NBA.
Oh, Draymond.
Do you think Draymond comes back this season?
No.
Really?
I really don't. I would like for him to, but I don't think so. Like, it's like, Draymond, we have had continuous seasons of repetitive seasons of your bullshit.
I'm thinking maybe he gets 15 games. I think he gets 15 games. The only reason I say I think he gets 15 games because the organization's not tired of him yet.
That's clear if they keep bringing him back, or maybe I don't know, maybe they have fronted him too much money, or I don't know how these contracts go with guaranteed money versus what you've already made, and they're trying to get a return on investment. But
I mean, they get some of it back. Even with his suspension, I want to say his 5-game suspension cost him I want to say about $2 million.
Wow.
They, when you suspend it, it ain't like law enforcement. We're gonna put you on administrative leave. You still get kind of paid. Like, no, you miss game checks when you suspended. Like, John Morant finding that out the hard way. He's on his way back, 25 games, and the money you lost, you don't recoup that. Um,
Exactly.
I think Draymond, they're gonna sit him down. I think 15 games. And the only reason I say 15 because the organization
Hmm.
has not thrown him to the wolves. And I think if the organization would have been like, we're done, we'll go whatever the NBA said, but they've come out and said, we're willing to, help Draymond get help to address his issues. I mean, because it's obvious when he's on the court, it's he's a little high strung when he's out there.
He is, but I kind of like it though.
Man, I mean,
It's like I
everything.
watch him and like, what? Look at what Draymond gonna do. What he gonna do tonight?
Draymond is the guy that you hate playing against, but you want on your team.
For sure.
Draymond gives me those Dennis Rodman type vibes. Like he could be irritated as an opponent, but he's on your team. That's my guy, and I think that Golden State sticking behind him helps him. But I'll be surprised if they suspend him for the entire season. But he's going to be on an extremely short leash.
And they'll probably make him go to some bullshit, anger management, something to appease the NBA and make him change up his meds. And if he's not taking any, put him on some.
But I don't, I think if Draymond comes back this season, I think he has another incident and he may be gone for the season at that point. Yeah,
Well, I tell you what,
don't.
I'll be watching just for that because I don't do the NBA. There's too many games. I can't do it. I cannot watch people play
Well,
100 games.
well, over here, soon as the playoffs are done, then we're gonna be diving back into the NBA stuff like we were doing for last season. I don't get too tied up into the NBA. I watch, but I don't get too tied up into it until like All-Star break when we're talking like February. But by that time, NFL season is mainly wrapped up.
Right, and that's when I get into it. It's like
Yeah.
I can't watch all 900,000 games. I'm the same way with baseball. We're a baseball family here, and I can't watch all those damn games. I can't do it.
I can.
It's too many.
Baseball hit me up around September. I might give you
Right.
I might give you an opinion about that time the season's damn near over. I just watch I mean, for my baseball fans that are listening, I only watch the postseason, and I'm depending on what's going on with the rest of the sporting world. I ain't watching all the postseason games at that. There's certain teams and certain series, depending on what's going on. But baseball, it don't capture my imagination, and Black America is I think as a whole, for the most part, is kind of falling out of love with baseball. It's not attractive to younger people. It's just not.
Well, I tell you what, if I could humbly suggest on your show, and it just got and just put it out there in the atmosphere, I wish that boxing kind of had, seasons like other sports, to where we were guaranteed so many shows.
Well, with boxing and I, speaking of boxing, because I was going to reach out to grown man because me and him did a live over here for the Crawford Spence fight. I wanted to kind of get together with him and debate which one is more popular. Now are we talking boxing? Or are we talking mixed martial arts, aka UFC? My opinion, UFC has surpassed boxing and has surpassed boxing over the last 10 years, and it's a widening gap. But that's a discussion for I'm gonna get with him, and we're gonna probably do a show on that. But yeah.
Well, just thanks for telling me you don't want. That was a very polite way of telling me you don't want my opinion on it. But I think that is
No.
because they have more shows.
Well, my my initial argument with MMA over boxing is that boxing, for one, has too many damn divisions. Guys are not, fighting, the top guys. One thing about mixed martial arts and the best fights the best. There's no ducking.
Right. I will give them that.
And it's it's one governing body. They're the ones that decide the fights. It's no I'm not fighting this dude. That's one thing that kind of killed boxing. Over the last 20 years, promoters got in the way, boxing organizations got in the way, and people wasn't getting the fights that they wanted. And that's one thing about mixed martial arts. You don't have that problem. Like you the champ, you fight the number one contender regardless of who it is. That's the name.
Exactly.
And
And that will be your next fight. You're not gonna have a bunch of fights that you're gonna take in between that. You're gonna fight the number one contender your next fight.
yeah, but you have those boxing fans who will still say that MMA hasn't passed boxing, because look at the numbers that a Spence Crawford fight did. Like, yeah, those mega fights they're going to do those numbers, but what about the rest of the year?
Exactly.
So, but yeah,
exactly. So, well, that's interesting. I can't wait to tune in for that conversation. And as always, thank you for having me up. And Umar, go sit your ass down some damn where. Better yet, go get on a treadmill or a bike. How about that?
Okay, yes. He ain't gonna do that now.
Stop eating some of them cookies.
What,
maybe if he wasn't a cookie monster, he could get the school open.
Maybe. As always, it's always a pleasure when you come through.
Miss
Murph, I wanted to ask Miss Murph, because Miss Murph brought this up towards the end of my last show yesterday.
What Ms. about Murph, them Eagles?
No, she
was quiet.
Yeah, she's still kind of quiet and traumatized by that. But Miss Murph asked me, she's like, "You gonna add a female element to the show?" And I said, I'm working on it, but it's Miss Murph is really like a scheduling type thing. With a lot of the stuff that I try to do with people, it comes down to scheduling. Not that I don't want to, it's a scheduling thing. Trust me, if I could be live every day, I would, but I got my own schedule, and I try to work around other people's schedule too, especially when I'm talking about collabing and doing shows with. So that's the answer to your I saw it in the chat when I closed out the show, Miss Murphy. So I just wanted to answer that for you. Like, yeah, I want to have my own little ESPN first take up on here, but until we get there, we'll do what we can.
So let me translate that for you, Ms. Murph. He has dissed Dr. Nikki a second time in the same show. Okay. It's all good.
Ma'am, you understand, like, all jokes aside, you understand how difficult it can be working with somebody to do a show. And I don't want people to think like, I don't want that. Like, it's a scheduling type thing. Like, so, I mean, sometimes people are not available, and you just try to, like, kind of work with it. Like, yeah, you're more than welcome. I drop the link, I think, every show, and if I don't, y'all need to chastise me for not doing it, but I don't mind. The
right, but I'm talking about my own segment.
Well, I'll get with the good brother Triggs, if and we'll come up with a intro video, because I don't want to just have you come in here cold like Dr. Nikki, like, and walk off the stage. You got to have your own little intro, to Nikki's corner. Yeah, I got to do it like that. So I'll reach out to the good brother Triggs.
Just give me something with stars in it, lots of glitter.
Okay, and Triggs, if you're listening, that's the request. For Nikki's corner on the Audible. Her own little corner of the corner.
2-minute segment. That's all I need till I earn some more time.
But yeah, we'll work on that. We'll collab on that project.
I'll send in an audition tape.
You done enough auditioning on the Freestyle Friday. Miss Murphy, I'll let you slide this week, Miss Murphy, because I know you were still traumatized from that beating we put on you. But I was.
Oh, she's gonna be traumatized about 3 more games. So we gonna pray for you. We're gonna put her on the injured reserve list as far as the chat membership.
Miss Murphy will stop coming to the show and everything.
No, she not.
I can't support this no more.
Look, she can't, because she's waiting for the Cowboys to lose. So yeah, she'll come back. We'll keep the light on for you.
Yeah, I haven't seen Gator Girl all week. Cowboys, man, they go missing when the Cowboys lose.
I know. It's all good.
But it's always hold on. Got a guest backstage.
What? Not a guest.
ain't chopped it up with her. I got to make sure, because he's not a regular. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, Drama, Dr. Nikki?
What's going on, good brother? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I
This is
just had to come
okay.
up
How
here.
you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
I am well.
I just had to come up here and say I can't stand y'all Cowboy fans.
Oh,
I
you in the
just
wrong
can't
place, huh?
Yeah,
stand
go ahead
y'all.
and drop him down. Boo.
Who's your team, Unc?
Them
Uh,
sorry ass commanders.
no,
Are you
no,
serious?
sir. No, I'm Baltimore Ravens. I'm the Ravens.
Y'all
Okay,
having a
I
good
give you
Actually,
year.
that.
Colts.
Y'all having a
Actually,
good
the
year.
Colts. Baltimore Colts. I still
Yeah.
keep it like that.
Old school. You old school with that one.
Yeah. Nah. It's I like your show drama. I like what you're trying to do.
I appreciate
Um,
it, man. Appreciate it.
yeah, I just haven't been able to catch it.
Oh, no,
Um,
it's fine. Shortly, this is like I like to call it the corporate space. I'm gonna be over here a little bit more so than
mhm.
I am over there. It's about transitions, and I'm about doing different stuff, and I like being over here.
Yeah.
And it's just a more chill vibe, more relaxed vibe, none of the extra stuff, and so. Probably towards the end of the season, I'm gonna be over here, more so than I am over there. I'm winding down, man. I'm winding down. I don't put my time in. It's time for me to kind of fade to black, but that'll come eventually. I ain't gonna announce it, but it'll come eventually. I just,
You
uh,
know what I noticed though, surfing on the YouTube streets with the black sports
mhm,
commentators. Um, I see a lot of they might get to about 5 or 10K, right?
mhm,
But I think it's the cussing, the mannerism, which keeps them from growing. Because when I look at the white sports channels, they be having like 100 and something, but they so lame. They don't have no passion behind it. They talk just like, uh,
No
it's,
flavor.
yeah, no flavor. And so when I see the the black commentators, they just using too much profanity. They using too much. Um, uh, my nigga this, my nigga that. It's like they're not. How could you put it, Doctor Nick? I don't even know how to put it, but
I mean, I get what you're saying. Because
Yeah, they're too casual.
well, yeah, that. And also a lot of them don't really, do homework. Because I follow
mm,
some of them over here.
mm,
I
Hmm.
listen to their shows and that kind of stuff. It's just a lot of it's opinion based, but won't like really kind of to really to get into that realm where like the white sports shows, they do a lot of stuff like digging into the stats,
mm-hmm.
homework, actually watching full games and knowing what's going on for real, and not just getting up here, man. I'm Cowboys for life. Like, no, I can turn the fan off and try to be an analyst about what I'm seeing, and it can be a struggle at times because you try to cater to your audience, but if you want your audience to grow, you got to kind of mix it up just just a little bit. Don't I can't get up here and sound like Brian Gumble, but I can't do that. But I mean, it's a learning process, and um, you just gotta kind of find your way with it. But I know what you're talking about. I see it because on this side, I follow and support a lot of those channels. Like, damn, like, yeah, I don't like what your take,
Right,
because it ain't really based in facts and based in stats. Like, you're just giving an opinion, which is cool sometimes, depending on the type of conversation you're having. But if you can't back it up, and one thing about, yeah, it's they're lame, but you're getting a lot of information. It's just their presentation is not to our flavor.
Yeah, it's just
mm-hmm.
painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, very painful.
It's
But
just painful to endure.
I brought that up to say that I've been noticing how you go about speaking to the audience and how you talk, and I could see the potential. I could see that if you stick with it, that I think you'll pop real quick.
No,
Because
I appreciate it.
listening to
Appreciate it.
these other guys is just it's very painful. It's sad because it's like they like for example, I don't know if you know this sports channel, but I'm just gonna say like a phrase someone uses, "Yickety, my boy," and I'm like, what that mean? Like
What?
Yeah.
yickety, the
I get what
yickety.
you're saying. Like,
Right.
you got to kind of make it. Yeah, I mean, you can sprinkle some of that in there. It's like I like to watch like Shannon Sharp, his progression. with his
Right.
stuff. Like you save it for a particular space, but when you on like pretend like you on TV and you talking to America, like
Hmm.
make it entertaining, but don't make them feel like they I can't vibe with that. I can't get in that kind of conversation. So like even when I'm talking about my boys, I turn the fan off mostly. Turn it off, but I was like, hey, my team is this, my team is that. This is what the trend is. That kind of I try to keep it like that because I know that appeals to a broader audience of people.
See, you
So,
had to throw your boys in there. Now,
well, I
see,
mean,
this
but
what I'm.
yeah.
Mm,
Well, I
mm,
mean, we
mm,
are
mm.
America's team. We are America's team.
And we
But,
are honest about our team. We are very
But,
honest
but
about our team over here. We
but,
celebrate them when they do well, but I will give Dots this. He does give a very good read of what our shortcomings are and things that we need to work on as he does with other teams. And I'll say equally.
yeah,
and that's why I like when he
It's
talks
balanced.
about sports. But I'm telling you about y'all boys. The minute when they win, "Oh, how about them Cowboys?" I mean, people walking around with the shirts on, hats tilted to the side.
Oh, we
When
come
they
on,
sick with it.
lose,
come on now.
when they
We a
lose,
different breed, man. You
when they
have
lose, y'all
Listen, in all
can't.
fairness, when I'm in other spaces and my Cowboys lose, I will make an announcement that I'm in my feelings because
Oh.
my team lost.
Now that okay, I get that. But some of these Cowboy fans, man, they go mute. I mean mute. Don't talk about the game at all. They don't want to talk about nothing. They just oh my goodness, I
you,
can't
you
stand
know you know you see you can't
it.
understand it because you ain't a cowboy. It's something. It's when we lose. See how I said we when we lose.
America loses.
It hurts us on a much deeper level because I don't think you can find any fan base in football that is as passionate about their team as a Cowboys fan.
To
As
me, y'all only got to prove the playoffs. See, I don't worry about y'all until the playoffs. I want to see what y'all gonna do in the playoffs.
well, we don't care about. I mean, we don't care about the regular season as a whole, but week by week, man, you come on. You watch sports media. We lose. Guess who's the top of the show? Dak, the Cowboys, and damn the other teams in the NFL. Nobody. Take your Ravens for instance. Nobody's talking about them. Nobody's talking about the Colts, and
Yeah,
they're having good seasons, but nobody's talking about them because it don't bring the numbers in. I can get
that's true. That's
Cowboy
almost just
hate
like
is
the
different.
Lakers. That's
Yeah,
almost like the Lakers.
yeah. Like Lakers
Yeah.
fans, like until like the last 10, maybe 10 years, how Golden State Warriors fans get that kind of attention. Well, we are America's team. We
And, may,
transcend. We
and
transcend
maybe that's why I
everything.
can't stand y'all though, because y'all get that attention that just it's like, come on. Every time you turn around, somebody a Cowboy fan. You know.
We
You know how
everywhere.
many
We everywhere. We're not just
But here's the thing, though.
Mhm.
Have you noticed this? Because I'm not sure if Uncle be honest enough to tell us. Yeah, I don't know if he can be honest in this setting, but every time I put on my nail and go out, I can't go anywhere without somebody starting something with me.
the hate.
Mm.
The hate is
And
real. The hate is
And
real.
here's the other thing. They know the stats about my team better than I do. So I'm like, well, are you really a fan? Like, because gosh, you know more than I do. I didn't even know they did that yet. This and that. Oh, really? We did that?
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah,
the hate is
I don't
real.
know about that. I don't
We,
know
we're
about
we're
that.
No, people who hate the Dallas Cowboys, they know our stats better than we do because they know how many times we've been to the playoffs. They know how many, I mean, down to the millisecond.
Okay, so let me go. Okay. Maybe I should say I can't stand the fans.
yeah, and
That
I hear that. I
yeah,
hear that
I
a
can't
lot.
stand the
I
yeah.
hear that a lot. Like they're like, I don't really don't care about the team, but it's the fans that get me. And I say,
Mhm.
I
Yes.
get it because we can be a bit fanatical when it comes to them boys. I get it. You
It it's the fans and it's the Jerry Jones coverage. But Jerry kind of makes me laugh now though. Seeing, it just yeah. It's the fans
You
and
can't
the
turn away
coverage they
from us,
give him.
man. You just can't turn
Yeah,
away.
that's true.
Blame
Because
the media, because trust me, when we lose, we don't want nobody to talk about us. But
Exactly.
we at the top of the show. We at the top of the show. Even when we win, yeah, we at the top of the show. Is a hater somewhere critiquing. Like, man, Dak is having an MVP caliber season, but you can't get these talking heads on TV to just say, yeah, I agree with that. Like, nah, I don't think so, because he ain't had the struggle yet, huh? Hey, what?
I'm I don't who did y'all well y'all played y'all beat the Eagles, so that
No,
was
we didn't
a
beat the
good
Eagles.
team.
We smashed the Eagles. Let's
Oh
You
yes, we
so
we
you
land blasted the Eagles.
okay, I know Eagles have their problems, so you don't you think that they actually uh you don't think that the Eagles kind of like just gave up or like they didn't play to the potential, or you just
I,
think they was just a beaten, they
well, I
just beat them.
think I've been saying it all season about Philadelphia. Something seems off, especially
Mm-hmm.
with the offense as far as like the play call and stuff. Something has seemed off all year. Even
Mm-hmm.
though they were winning, but it's kind of like they were winning despite of. The
Right.
defense is not the same, playing at the same level they were last year. And some of the same, some of the same talent is there, but offensively, Jalen Hurts looks like a completely different quarterback from what we saw last season. Um,
Yeah, he's a very cavalier. Like he just.
well, I mean, I blame, they lost their offensive coordinator in the offseason. The new guy, and I've been, I've been saying this about not only Jalen Hurts, but like Justin Fields. Like, you, as an offensive coordinator, you got to kind of tailor your offensive scheme to the talent that you
Mhm.
have. And I don't think that's been part of the struggle with Philadelphia, is this: they have a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball, but you seen it against San Francisco, you seen it against the Cowboys. Lack of innovative play calling to make the game simpler for Jalen Hurts.
Mhm.
Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan does a great job, scheming and making sure the game is easy for his quarterback. That's why he's playing at the level he's playing. It's not because he's so supremely talented. The head
Mhm.
coach and the play calling and the players around him make life easier for him.
Mhm. Mhm.
And you're seeing that with the Cowboys this year, with Mike McCarthy calling the plays and not Kellen Moore. Dak seems, Dak hasn't played at this level, period, in his career, and that goes down to play calling. Put him in a position to win, and you're not seeing that with Jalen Hurts. Now, Philadelphia is still a good team, but they
Mhm.
were winning despite of the play calling. And San Francisco, really put it out there. And Dallas kind of, I think, Seattle has a good chance of, you know, um, keep driving home the point. And now you're hearing reports out of Philadelphia about how, like, AJ Brown has been complaining about the play calling, and all of that stuff is starting to leak out into the media. It's been a
Mm.
rough season for him.
Right, but they also don't normally have back to back good seasons either.
Well, that too, but you
That's
know,
just not been their legacy.
yeah, but I've been saying this like the
Mm.
whole season. Like, even when they were 10-1, I was like, this is one of the worst 10-1 teams I've seen in recent memory. Because when you watch Philadelphia, a lot of those games that was coming from behind, they were playing down to the level of the competition. This is not the same team that rolled out there last year. And you can say the same for Kansas City. It
Mhm.
ain't the same. It ain't the same team. A lot of the same players, a lot of the same talent, but play calling is head coaching and that kind of stuff is really making a difference. And you seeing that with Baltimore. Baltimore brought in playmakers. Hey, we're changing up the play call and make life easier for Lamar. Um,
Mhm.
and that's how you be successful. In the NFL, it's still an offensive driven league, but you got to make sure that you put your quarterback in the best position to win. And the teams that have the best records and are looking the strongest coming down the stretch, play calling is the key. Play calling is the key, and I think it's going to bear out come the playoffs and all of that kind of stuff. Play calling is the key.
So which game you looking forward to this week?
The biggest game for this, not sound like a fan, but the biggest game this week is Buffalo and Dallas, in my opinion. Dallas
Hmm.
still has an outside chance to get number one seed in the NFC through the playoffs. All those teams are tied at 10-3, but Buffalo has something to play for. Buffalo's just 2 games back of Miami, and they smashed Miami earlier this year, and they still have to play them on the schedule. Miami is kind of taking a step back. Buffalo is trending up. Um, and Buffalo has a lot to play for, not just for the division, but they're still in the thick of that AFC playoff race. They can't afford to be losing games coming down the
Hmm.
stretch. So I think it's going to be a highly competitive game. There's some other games on the schedule that pique my interest, but I think that one has a lot of far-reaching implications, because I think if Buffalo loses, which I hope they lose, and I predicted they lose, they might be on the outside outside looking in. AFC is going to have a 10-7 team that don't make the playoffs. They're going to have
Hmm.
a team with a winning record, a couple of games above 500 that won't make the playoffs in the AFC.
Mm.
Baltimore is sitting pretty, but
For sure.
they looked a little rusty against the Rams. The Rams are a good team, and people are like really starting to realize how good the Rams are. Very well coached, and I think they're about a year or two ahead of schedule as far as competing again in the NFC. Because when you really look at the roster, it's not a lot of talent.
Hmm.
Nobody was looking at Puka Nacua for potential offensive rookie of the year. Nobody was looking at him at the beginning of the season, but play
Mm.
calling, well coached team is paying out dividends for the Rams. They have an opportunity to possibly make the playoffs. But your Ravens, I was concerned because they was like they coming off a bye, might be a little
Mhm.
rusty. They was in a rhythm. It took them a minute to kind of get it together. They pulled it out in overtime, but we'll
The
see.
games have been exciting though, even though they have those mechanics, messed up mechanics right now. The game's still been exciting.
Mhm.
What do you think about that call with the San Francisco though? I mean, not the San Francisco, the Chiefs that off what?
It's kind of like how the NBA does, like it's one of those no calls. Considering
Yeah.
the time of the game, the pressure of the moment, um, you just don't see that call often.
Hmm.
In that moment. Now, you're talking about his video come out. Did he check with the sideline ref and all that? But you just don't really see that call in that moment. It's kind of like you let them play. I don't think
Right.
anybody would have been jumping up and down had they not threw the flag, because I don't think Buffalo was jumping up and down talking about he was offside. It's just kind of like you just don't call that. It's like
So, Nikki, what you thought about the call for the? Oh, did you see it? The
Yes, I saw it, but I was in disbelief because I agree with what Drama's saying. Like, you don't see that happen often. And I think that I would have been just as angry. Like, they would probably have had to kick me out of the game if I were a player. If I had
mm,
been the quarterback, what's his name? Mahomes, y'all would have had to take me out the game.
yeah,
mm.
he
Yeah.
was upset because I mean it's 2 minutes left in the game. Highly contested game, good football game. But I mean, think about the only thing we remember about the football game is that penalty. That's it.
Yeah.
Like the refs, once again, rear their ugly head and you know take away
Listen,
from
when
the
the
net.
refs come to play, you're not gonna win. Neither team wins. When the refs come to play, you don't win.
Mm.
Yeah,
Because they're supposed to ref. But when they come to play, you don't get neither team wins.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just was checking in. I'm great. Get up and probably go to work and
Okay.
uh check
What's
the
up?
little game. I just said since I'm up, I might as well try to hit in and show some support and try to check in a little bit more often.
Well,
Yeah.
happy holidays to you, and I see you all in love, and I see you, prosperity and all of that, and I'm happy for you. I couldn't be happier
Uh,
for you. Keep stunting
yeah,
on them.
I'm just chilling. No, I'm just chilling. I ain't
So
really
keep
doing
stunting
much.
on them. I love it. Keep stunting on them. Like, show your happiness, because that's what people can't stand, happiness, and it's just unbelievable to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know, yeah, you
You be
got
as
to.
happy as you can.
yeah.
Yeah, but on the side, one quick thing though, this game better get going because they were beating the shit out of Lakers, uh, Spurs,
You was
but
talking
now
about
they
it.
done,
What
yeah,
okay, but before I let you go, what's your
mhm.
thoughts on Wembanyama so far?
Man, he look he looks good. I don't know if he gonna be in the league that long. You
Wow.
know, just because history show like these tall guys, just like what was what's my man name that's playing for Boston now? You seen how he came in a
Porzingis.
unicorn
Yeah, Porzingis.
and his potential and everything and how he flamed out. I
Yeah.
just think that they don't put the work in with their body like that. You know, I think he too long. I think he's gonna suffer a couple injuries.
Yeah,
But I like him though. I like him. I
yeah.
I mean I really do. I like him. One thing I do realize about players that play overseas, like our players here, we have the talent, right? But
Mhm.
we don't study the craft of the game. That's why your Lucas, that's why Jokers and them, they excelling because we going off strictly pure talent. We ain't trying to think the game.
Yeah.
These guys thinking the game. Like my little cousin, he plays overseas, and his whole mannerism is different compared to when he was here and when he was playing for Clemson. You
Mhm.
get what I'm saying? It's like it's just the way they
Coach,
think the
it's
game. They
coaching.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Coaching
It's
like
just.
international ball, and you see
Hmm.
it rears ugly head during the Olympics.
Hmm.
Like you think we roll out these all-star players, but we get into
Hmm.
the Olympics and we play against a lot of teams that are well coached, have maybe not similar talent, but
Hmm.
they understand the fundamentals of the game and they're taught that like
Hmm.
ISO ball is not really a thing in international, basketball. Whereas though here, that's kind of like
Hmm.
I got to get mine. We take turns. You get it next time.
The
And that's,
IQ.
yeah,
That's
the
what I'm looking
IQ. And
for.
that's why you have a Joker. That's why you have a Luka.
Hmm.
When you look at them physically, talent wise, like they shouldn't even be out on the court, um,
Exactly.
doing what they're doing. But they come from that international culture where they're taught to think the game of basketball on a
Hmm.
completely different way. Um,
Hmm.
but
See, that's why I'm a component. I really like Reeves. When I go to these little sports channels, right? I
mhm,
listen to him. Yeah, that white boy can't play. He getting burnt. He getting burnt. But he fights. You get what
mhm.
I'm saying? He make winning plays.
Yeah, he's
That's
like
why they like. That's why
Caruso.
LeBron likes him on the court, huh?
Yeah, and that's why I like Caruso when he was with the Lakers. Like,
Yes, yes.
give me guys like that,
Hmm.
because you can win with guys like that. And San
Hmm.
Antonio built the culture of having guys like that know
Hmm.
basketball. And I think
Hmm.
Wembanyama is in the perfect spot to learn on the pop.
Yes, that's true. I just think health wise, I don't think. I think he a little too skinny to be battling, and then when you long and you jumping up and down, you easy to twist the ankle. Before the center of gravity, the body, it's I don't know, but I like him though. I
We'll,
really
we'll
do.
we'll see what he looks like in February because that's when they typically hit the rookie wall. He's looking good so far. The team ain't, but he's looking good. We'll see what
Hmm.
that grind of about 40 or 50 NBA games, what he looks like around then. Then we can come back and have that discussion because every rookie hits the wall. Most rookies hit the
I
wall,
tell
but
you, I tell you what, I'm a LeBron James fan, so right now I'm a Lakers fan, right?
mhm,
But I would say if Lakers don't get rid of D'Lo, they ain't going nowhere.
I
And
would
I
agree.
and it's sad because D'Lo had another person that has a lot of talent, but when you see him play, when the pressure, the heat is on, he makes some of the most dumbest mistakes, and he don't even play defense. So I don't know why Ham keeps him uh, in the game. You know what I mean? If you're
For his
not going to let him attack, you get what I'm saying? He's
for
just a body
he keeps him in the game
that
for
space
to
the
keep his
floor.
confidence up. Because you saw what happened during the playoffs. Lakers played their best when he went on the court. Um,
Yeah.
the Lakers played better offensively and defensively when he wasn't on the court, but
Mm-hmm.
Ham has to kind of keep him engaged. It's kind of like the James Harden effect. You got to keep him
Mm-hmm.
engaged in the game. Even when he's not having a good game, you got to kind of keep him engaged, because you don't the confidence goes like that. You saw that with Harden in game 6 and 7, like it was a wrap. It was a wrap. He mentally checked out, and some players are just like that. But I think we can get a nice haul for D'Lo. I think we can get a nice
But,
haul for
but
D'Lo.
see, that's what caused the Lakers. That's what caused the Lakers the championship for, as far as the conference, winning the conference,
We
because
weren't.
he
Well,
kept
Lakers weren't beating Denver.
shit.
Uh,
I disagree. Hey, I
we
disagree on
played them.
that
We
one.
played them. We played them harder than everybody else, but
You-
the way Joke was playing, and you could look at D'Lo. I could look at the inconsistency of AD.
But
That was
here's what I'm
pissing
gonna
me
tell you about that. See, D'Lo has that. He has that. Russell Westbrook effect. Russell Westbrook effect,
off.
where I think the team itself is just tired of him. They I think they taking a playbook from LeBron James, far as being savage with addressing the media and being cool, but really want to cut his ass out. I mean, cut him out.
The team wants to move him, but due to his contract situation, they can't do nothing until the trade deadline.
I'm gonna tell you,
I think he's
they
gone.
were
I think he's
they
gone.
was gonna beat. They would have beat Denver. They would have beat Denver.
I don't know, and I'm a Lakers fan too. I'm a Lakers fan
You
too, but
see how close them games. You see how
them
close
games
them games were.
them games were close, but I think over the course of a 7-game series, and the only reason I say this, AD was the key to that series. If he'd have played like
Yeah,
he played every night, he could have
that's true too.
canceled out. He would have a good game, and then he would disappear, and he would have a good game. It was like that. See, the entire Lakers played him tougher than
I was
anybody
so
else.
mad. I was so mad.
Who you mad? Come on, I was 38 high. Like, god damn, man, like you ain't taking. And when you look at Joe, he ain't a defensive presence, but he just like AD was having problems getting around him on a consistent. Like, what is going on? You should be buzzing his ass.
But here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you. I think a lot of people don't. I think a lot of people don't. They got good defense, but that's because Anthony Davis is roaming,
Yeah,
right? But when he lazy and they trying to roll out there, they look so terrible.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
AD has always been the key, though. AD has always been the
Mhm.
key since he's got there. When AD is locked in, I mean, you can't. He's MVP ish when he's locked
He
in. It's just he
he
comes
need to
and
give
goes.
he need to give some of that money back. I ain't lying. He gotta get some of that money back.
No,
Wait, drama. I'm sorry, Dots. If I could ask Uncle a question real quick, because my phone's about to die. And, I need to be charged for the other space. So, what you think about Draymond?
Draymond do what Draymond do.
But I'm saying, is he gone for the season? I say yes. Drama says no.
Nah, I don't think he gone, Nick. I think like this. I think uh Draymond is the catalyst to the Warriors. People don't give him credit. They give credit to Steph and them, right? Steph. But
Hmm.
I would argue that Draymond is the key to it all, even with the championships. Steph can shoot, but Draymond does everything else, and he was doing it for a long time. I think he just probably got PTSD. You know,
come on, no, that's a reach.
I'm just saying. I
Wait,
know
but
what
what's that? What's the disease that they're saying that the football players had? Was it CCE? What is it?
CTE. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you think Draymond has that?
Draymond.
He got something.
Draymond old school, and a lot of this stuff that's going on is like a shock to him. Like he can't take it. These big dudes. Because he sure did knock the hell out of old what's that boy name? He choked. Oh man, when he choked old boy, I said, God
Gobert.
damn.
Yeah. I was like, you don't lost your mind, bro.
Somebody should have taken off a belt and just whooped him
Hey,
on the court.
let me tell you
What's wrong
something.
with you? We
When he
don't do this
choked,
in basketball.
when he choked him, I said, Draymond gotta go to timeout for a while.
I
Just
know.
keep, just keep Draymond off the court. You can tell he losing and he's spiraling. And oh man, when he hit Poole, but see, oh man, Draymond like the Debo. But see, I knew something was
I was
wrong
thinking
with
more
him.
like the water boy.
I knew something was wrong with him when they played them playoffs, and he was what they flailing. He
Yeah,
kept he was literally kicking people. Am I right or wrong? That man been kicking people, been punching people for a long time. Him and Chris Paul.
well,
Chris Paul just sneaky with it. Yeah, Chris Paul be hitting you with low blows and all types of stuff.
yeah. Chris Paul been known to be a dirty player in the game.
Yeah. So I think they need him. I think he entertaining. I think that he'll probably get about 15 games.
Yeah, I say about 15, and then have him go through some like anger management classes or something like that. he'll be good. He'll be good. He'll be back out on the court. Like, y'all know I got to wrap up because I got to get ready for the other space.
Now Draymond would be the only one out there playing in the straight jacket. He was like, "No, just run,
Uh,
just run and block."
nah, that dude, but that's my man though. I really believe he didn't get the credit when they was winning them championships that he should have got. I
No,
really believe that.
I would agree with that. I would agree with
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
That him and Klay Thompson. They didn't for some reason they keep trying to put all these people against LeBron. It's different levels to it, man. They wanted what Rose, Steph Curry, Durant. Man, LeBron about to turn 39 and just taking it to him. So, but it was just nice chatting with y'all and
always a pleasure.
you know.
Definitely.
More than welcome to
Yeah,
fall through
I
over
don't
here.
be trying to deal with that other stuff. So when
Yeah,
it's something that's
I play with it on Friday night.
yeah, oh yeah, you off the chain.
I
I
play
I
with it
try
on
to
Friday.
I dibble and dabble, but
Yeah,
That's
we see you dibbling and dabbling.
yeah. Well, I put some other on my community post, just like some other places. What I want to do is just show my view of what I see when I go to these countries, like because people assume certain things, and really, if you don't go outside the country and see what's really going on,
You be
you
surprised.
Yeah, you can't have a worldview until you travel the world.
yeah, and once you get that worldview,
You
everything
move
else start
differently.
clicking. Yeah, you move different, you clicking different, you really see it for what it is because our country is not the be all see all. Believe me, there's a lot of other stuff going on out there that you be like, what? I could do this here.
Okay, well,
Why?
we don't want the FBI censoring this small channel, so
Nah,
so watch it with your end
nah.
all be all.
Yeah, nah. We. It is. Oh, come
We
on,
trying to
bro.
get the FBI on the other sector, not this one.
Oh no. This a little chill spot right here. I've been catching a couple of
Yeah, that's why I keep it separate over here. Like this ain't for everybody. This ain't for everybody.
Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna drop off as always, and thanks for having me. I'll
Yeah,
see you in the other space.
yes, ma'am.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And it's always a pleasure when you come through. And we're gonna work on your Nikki's Corner segment of the show.
Yes, again, stars and glitter.
Mhm.
Glitter. I made sure I wrote that down, and I'll make sure we
Get
get
that to the research department
yeah. And have
later.
it noticed later.
So drama, it's officially dots, right? Because I remember you was trying to do a look for what an outro or something.
Um,
Or
it's over. Over here it's I just go by dots over here, but people
Mhm.
call me drama. It's because most of the people that be in the chat anyway are people that from I invited from the other space, so it's cool. It's
Mhm.
um yeah, over here. Like I said, I'm gonna be spending more time over here.
Mhm.
Um, working on some things, working on some different kind of stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
really around the playoff time, I'm gonna slowly start trickling in some of the NBA stuff like I was doing last year, and we'll see. We'll see. And hopefully, people will still come out support it, and I'm happy about it.
Bruh,
Yeah,
as long as as long as you doing what you like, that's all that matters.
yeah,
And putting the work in and the energy into something you like, that's the best thing possible.
yeah.
I think I like it. I could see it growing. Like I said, you don't have that much. Like I said, when I'm in those other spaces and I'm listening to these guys, man, they it's every word is a cuss word. It gets so personal. You can't comment in it. And I got blocked. I would give you
Yeah.
this before I go. All I said was, uh, what's his name? Um, D'Lo. Even though they won the game, D'Lo and Anthony Davis was still playing like trash. Do you know somebody blocked me, man? They
Man,
blocked me for saying that,
you got
and
some like some sensitive people. And like when I go to certain people chat rooms and like doing this type of content, I try to
yeah.
be like I kind of like read the room, like because you guys may be very pro somebody, and I may not be, and
hmm
I,
And the,
I I've got blocked a couple times.
but the crazy part about it, if I'm a member of the dude channel, right? I'm joining. I'm a member, right? How in the world? So I had to send the dude a message like, "Look, man, I just got blocked in your channel for just saying this." So he was so mad that he had to talk about his mods. They need a meeting. But my thing is like, when you go into those other spaces, those white spaces, they ain't doing all that. They either
No,
ignoring it,
they,
they
they,
staying on point,
they
huh?
stay focused on the show.
Yeah.
And they're not they don't allow chat to distract them. Um, like you see that with white content creators, like they'll like pick and choose what they'll acknowledge out of a chat room or when they're streaming or whatever. They'll be like, oh
Right.
yeah, hey yeah, thanks for the support, thanks for joining the membership, and like whatever else is going on, we ignoring it.
Right. I just that's what I'm looking for, a space where I could where black content creators can stay focused on it and just grow it. That's why when you like if you're not famous, it's hard to do it or hard to see it. That's why I like looking at like the Gilbert Arenas and
I
Shannon
like
Sharp and them.
yeah, I like his show. I like how they do I mean, because
Mm-hmm.
it's like guys that sitting around talking sports and they
Mm-hmm.
actually know for the most part what they're talking about. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I take notes from people and it's like, yeah, I like that and incorporate that, and
Mm-hmm.
but I understand it's a process, man. I love the grind. I love.
But yeah, I know you about to do your other thing, so I guess I'll,
They
I'll
got to get
holler
the
at
people
you at
what they
another.
want, man. Yeah, we'll
Hey,
be back over here. Dorm Not Go Live Tuesdays and Thursdays
okay,
over here. And
okay.
then, if I got something that's kind of like a mix of sports and like a social topic, I kind of do that
Mhm,
on like a Friday before I do the stuff over there. But yeah, Tuesdays and
mhm,
Thursdays for sure.
mhm,
Once the season is over, I might start doing daily,
mhm.
as far as like the NBA is concerned. But yeah, come
Man,
through
Lakers.
anytime, man.
Okay, bro. Okay, bro. All right, man. Yeah, I hope they win. They down. They trying to come back. All right, bro.
Yeah.
All
All
right,
right,
man.
man.
Take it
Appreciate
easy.
it.
All right, man. Peace and love, bro. Peace and
All right,
love.
peace. Hey, same to you all.
All right now.
Yeah, appreciate everybody for coming out, listening in. If you catching the replay, man, a very dope conversation with two very dope people. Y'all know what I got to go get ready to do because y'all know how I am on a Friday, and I think it might be entertaining. It's gonna be entertaining to me. Thank you all for taking the time to listen a little on me, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. End you off with the phrase that pays over here. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but every time you learn. And I'm out.